So this is Cambridge 13, section 2 listening. Okay. And এখানে, as you see, তিনটা question দেয়া রাখছে. And here we have 3 MCQs. Notice that these MCQs are only with A, B, and C as the answer choices. There's no other answer choice, no D, right? So A, B, and C. 11, 12, 13. Then they'll give you some time, and then they'll move to the next type of questions, which is a map. Okay. And map questionnaire philosophy ta hocche ba strategy ta hocche, they are going to mention every single one of these new traffic lights. Eta kintu bolbei. Pedestrian crossing, bolbei. Parking allowed, bolbei. Right? All of these things are going to be said. But what we need to find on a map is these letters. You see A through I, right? A through I. So the new traffic lights are going to be either A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, right? এখানে যে কোনো একটা অপশন আর কি, right? আমার ম্যাপের ক্ষেত্রে সবচেয়ে বেস্ট অ্যাডভাইস হচ্ছে টু যখন করবা এক্সামে তোমরা ফলো করবা, একটা স্টার্টিং পয়েন্ট বলবে, ওই স্টার্টিং পয়েন্টের থেকে ওরা মানে অলওয়েজ ওই হিসাবেই কিন্তু ডিসক্রিপশনটা দিবে. সো দ্যাট ইজ দ্য প্রো টিপ ইন ডুইং আ ম্যাপ. ওকে, বাট ফর এমসিকিউ মেইন টিপ আমার যেটা আছে ইজ লিসেন carefully, because at the same time when they're going to talk, right, they're going to mention all 3 of these options. They will definitely mention all 3, but they'll be like, the number of traffic has risen, but also the roads have increased with traffic, but the types of vehicles are the biggest problem, which, you know, so ora kintu tinotai jinishtai bolbe, but you have to very carefully listen, right? They might say something like the number of traffic accidents has decreased. তার মানে কি answer choice A কাটা. এখন যদি বলতো the number of traffic on the road has decreased, but the number of accidents has risen. But the reason we need to put new traffic systems is because of the different types of lorries and new buses. তার মানে কি answer হইতো C. So you have to listen very, very carefully. They will definitely mention dangerous driving. They will definitely mention pollution. And they will definitely mention inconvenience. But while listening, you must disqualify some of the answers, okay? And in section 2, it's going to be 1 speaker, usually maybe 2, okay? But tobuo, it's not something je amader khub mane, you know, we don't need to be really worried about it. It's just, you know, be careful, Arky, okay? Sorry, let me kind of get rid of this. Oops, what just happened? History. Recently closed. Sorry, that's my YouTube, sorry. Okay, so back to where we were. Let me show you another type of question. Okay, so this is the test 1, so let's look at test 2. Test 2 listening, if you see, they give you a bunch of MCQs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 initially. Okay. And then they give you multi-MCQ. Multi-MCQ. And these, again, are very tricky. You must be very, very careful. And the process of elimination, POE, is your best friend in any multi-choice, right? That is one of the biggest things, the process of elimination. এখানে যদি বলতো একজন যদি 65 হইতো, A কাটা নাকি? এখানে যদি বলতো they never use their computer জায়গায় যদি এখানে বলা আছে, right? এখানে যদি বলতো they never they use their computer through their whole lives, তাহলে B কোনোদিন হয়তো disqualified. So that concept, আমি কিন্তু এখন prediction দিতে পারবো না যে রেকর্ডিংটা কি বলবে, but the process of elimination is one of your best friends in any sort of multiple choice question in listening. Okay, and be very careful. They will definitely say all of the answer choices, but you have to be focused in getting the true answer. Okay, I'm just gonna play the first three right now, and it'll make your life easy to just for practice. But let's look at this real quick. Okay, why are changes needed to traffic systems in Granford? So এটা কেন চাচ্ছে, right? একটা answer হচ্ছে traffic accidents বাড়ছে, number of traffic accidents বাড়ছে। আরেকটা হচ্ছে the amount of traffic has increased, মানে overall volumeটা। and আরেকটা হচ্ছে different types of vehicles আসছে। Okay, number 12, in a survey, local residents particularly complained about, so complaints কি নিয়ে? Dangerous driving by parents, pollution, environmental pollution from what? Trucks and lorries, inconvenience caused by parked cars. Now, lastly, number 13, according to the speaker, one problem with the new regulations, right? Will be raising money, finding a way to make people follow them, or getting the support of the police. So let me kind of play this and let me kind of show you how they present it, and then you'll get a better idea. ঠিক আছে?
Okay.
So I'm going to play it. All right.
Section 2. You will hear the chairman of the Highways Committee of Granford speaking to members of the public about proposed changes to traffic and parking in the area. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 13.
Right here, answer choices is what's important. Reading the answer choices.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 13.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Phil Sutton, and I'm chairman of the Highways Committee. We've called this meeting to inform members of the public about the new regulations for traffic and parking we're proposing for Granford. I'll start by summarising these changes before we open the meeting to questions. So, why do we need to make these changes to traffic systems in Granford? Well, we're very aware that traffic is becoming an increasing problem. It's been especially noticeable with the increase in heavy traffic while they've been building the new hospital. But it's the overall rise in the volume of traffic of all kinds that's concerning us. To date, there's not been any increase in traffic accidents, but that's not something we want to see happen, obviously.
এখন দেখো তো তিনটা জিনিস কিন্তু বললো মাত্র, রাইট? বললো যে লাস্টে কি বললো? ট্রাফিকের অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট কিন্তু বাড়ে নাই, এ কিন্তু কাটা। টাইপস অফ ভেহিকল নিয়ে কোনো মেনশন ছিল?
না, তেমন না,
একদমই না। এন্ড একটা মাঝখানে একটা কথা বলেছিল না, দি ওভারঅল ভিডিয়া ভলিউম অফ ট্রাফিক হ্যাজ রিজেন। অ্যান্সার কোনটা হবে?
বি।
ভেরি গুড। ওকে, এভাবে আস্তে আস্তে আমরা আগাই। ওকে, নো ওয়ারিজ। Let me play the next one.
We carried out a survey of local residents, and their responses were interesting.
Okay.
People were very concerned about the lack of visibility on some roads due to cars parked along the sides of the roads. We'd expected complaints about the congestion near the school when parents are dropping off their children or picking them up. But this was on top of the list.
So, did you see what they said? They complained about lack of visibility from what? Parked cars. তারপরে সে বলল, we expected people to complain about something else. Expected, but was that what they complained about? The top of the list was the inconvenience from parked cars.
Cars.
Answer কোনটা হবে? C, right? 1000%. Good. 13 নাম্বারটা প্লে করি।
Or were noise and fumes from trucks and lorries, though they were mentioned by some people.
And এই যে confirmation,
We think these-
এই যে confirmation পেয়ে গেলাম। Trucks and lorries এর pollutionটা কি mentioned by some people? Was the particular complaint কি এটা ছিল? না.
No.
Some people mentioned it. Very good. Very good. Okay, number 13 coming, okay?
New traffic regulations would make a lot of difference. But we still have a long way to go. We've managed to keep our proposals within budget, just so they can be covered by the council. But of course, it's no good introducing new regulations if we don't have a way of making sure that everyone obeys them. And that's an area we're still working on with the help of representatives from the police force.
So বললো already মাত্র প্রথমে বললো কি funding আছে, budget আছে, right? So answer choice A কি হবে?
না,
বাজেট তো আছে নাকি? And তারপরে দেখো সেকেন্ডটা বলা আছে মাত্র তার বেশি বললো there's no point in giving new regulations if people don't follow, right? So B কিন্তু হাতে রাখার মতো। And C টা কিন্তু ওরা বললো we're doing that with মানে C টা getting the help of the police force, was that the problem? Already কিন্তু সে বললো মাত্র, if you শুনলে আমরা দেখো
Of making sure that everyone obeys them.
পুলিশের
And that's
ব্যাপারটা।
an area we're still working on with the help of representatives from the police force.
We're already working on that with the help of representatives from the police force. তার মানে কি পুলিশের হেল্প তো অলরেডি আছে বর্তমানে। So ওদের কি হেল্প লাগবে পুলিশের সাপোর্ট এখন?
না,
লাগবে হচ্ছে কি
finding a way to follow them.
right. A little tricky, I know, but was it too bad?
না, ঠিক আছে ভাই।
Not too bad, right?
বাট হয় কি স্ট্রিমিং এ খুব সম্ভবত একটু ইয়ে আসে আর কি, ক্যাচ
এটা
করতে একটু
ডিফিকাল্টি হয় না?
হুম।
আচ্ছা আমি ভলিউমটা বাড়ায় রাখি। আওয়াজে কোনো ডিফিকাল্টি আছে প্যাম্পের জন্য নাকি?
না, অ্যাকসেন্ট গুলো বোঝা একটু ডিফিকাল্ট হয় আর কি, খুব সম্ভবত মাঝে মাঝে।
Right. It's okay. The thing is, online right now, আমার সামনে পড়তেছো, right? At home is where you really sharpen these skills, ঠিক না? I don't want to say যে তোমার উপরে মানে তোমার উপরে ছেড়ে দিচ্ছি obviously, but it's more like আমি তোমাকে থিওরি গুলো দেখাবো, এই থিওরি গুলো তুমি ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করলেই আশা করি should be okay, right?
Okay.
And let me kind of go to the map now. And this is just theory classes, okay? This is not the main thing because it gets a little bit more tricky for map, okay? So I just want you to understand. দেখা যাচ্ছে স্ক্রিনটা? Okay. So on a map, they're gonna give you a certain starting point. You follow that along with your pen or your pencil as you listen to the audio. I will follow along as I listen to the audio with my mouse. And can you see my mouse moving? Right. So I will try to pause and things of that nature to the best of my ability. So let's see. Hold on. Let me kind of make this a little bit better. There we go. And I'll pause if you face any issues. Okay?
Okay.
And I just want you to get the practical feel of how they present the map itself. Okay? And then, of course, আমরা আরো তো practice করব, এটা তো first খালি, no worries. And দেখি next class এর জন্য একটা link তোমাকে পাঠিয়ে দিব না, so you can have all of the audios clearly in front of you. Right?
Okay.
All right, let me figure out that. But still, just for the sake of theory, and remember what I said, in the map, when you're giving the real exam, you follow with your pencil, right? From the starting point, and that's how you can easily find it. And you really need to know Station Road, west side, right? School Road, east side. There is a bend in the road, right? Then there's a junction. high street, junction, right? And also there's another little road that goes nowhere else, একটাই জায়গা, right? ব্যাংক আছে, কেমিস্ট আছে, স্কুল আছে, সুপারমার্কেট আছে, আরেকটা সুপারমার্কেট আছে, লাইব্রেরি আছে। এই জিনিসগুলার প্রেপোজিশন দিয়ে এগুলা দিয়েই কিন্তু অ্যান্সার গুলা দিবে আমাদেরকে। So let me kind of play the audio and let's get started, okay?
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 14 to 20.
It's in the hot.
Listen and answer questions 14 to 20.
There we go.
Okay, so this slide shows a map of the central area of Granford with the High Street in the middle and School Road on the right. Now, we already have a set of traffic lights in the High Street at the junction with Station Road, but we're planning to have another set at the other end at the School Road junction to regulate the flow of traffic along the High Street. We've decided we definitely need a pedestrian crossing. We considered putting this on School Road just outside the school, but in the end we decided that could lead to a lot of traffic congestion. So we decided to locate it on the High Street, crossing the road in front of the supermarket. That's a very busy area, so it should help things there. We are proposing some changes to parking. At present, parking isn't allowed on the High Street outside the library, but we are going to change that and allow parking there, but not at the other end of the High Street near School Road. There'll be a new no parking sign on School Road just by the entrance to the school, forbidding parking for 25 metres. This should improve visibility for drivers and pedestrians, especially on the bend just to the north of the school. As far as disabled drivers are concerned, at present, they have parking outside the supermarket, but lorries also use those spaces. So we've got 2 new disabled parking spaces on the side road up towards the bank. It's not ideal, but probably better than the present arrangement. We also plan to widen the pavement on School Road. We think we can manage to get an extra ½ metre on the bend just before you get to the school, on the same side of the road. Finally, we've introduced new restrictions on loading and unloading for the supermarket, so lorries will only be allowed to stop there before 8 a.m. That's the supermarket on School Road. We kept to the existing arrangements with the High Street supermarket. Okay,
So new traffic lights, ora bollo je there's new traffic. We already have a set of traffic lights at Station Road, but we need another one at the junction for School Road. 1000% gonna be E. We need a pedestrian crossing, and দেখছো নাটক একটু করছিল, ওরা কিন্তু বলেছিল যে আমি স্কুলের সামনে দেওয়ার পরিকল্পনা করতেছিলাম, বাট ওখানে অনেক জ্যাম হবে, এই জন্য কোথায় দিয়েছি আমরা? সুপারমার্কেট, রাইট, দিতে। ভেরি গুড। পার্কিং অ্যালাউড, একটু আগে তখন বললো কি, at present there is no parking allowed in front of the library, but we're going to change that. তার মানে কি? B, right? New no parking sign. They put a new no parking sign. Remember, they put it in front of the school, right? Because they wanted no parking for 25 meters on each side to stop traffic. Disabled parking spaces. Every single one of these is based on a high street. So starting point কিন্তু high street ই থাকে, ঠিক না? and বললো it's off of a side road, দেখছো ছোট road across from the bank. ওইটাই আমার answer. Widened pavement. This was tricky. They said we put it on school road just before the school on the bend on the same side as the school. Same side of the school road. একটাই জায়গা আছে H. F কিন্তু হবে না. Right? And তারপরে loading, unloading restrictions. It was in front of this supermarket, not the one on High Street. Only last time mentioned was that's the supermarket on Skill Road, not the one on High Street. So that is section 2. A little bit trickier, but not too bad, right? Is it doable?
Doable.
Definitely doable, right? It's not that difficult, honestly. But the whole thing is carefully listening and knowing when to pay attention. Did you notice every single time I'm doing a question or every single time, I get one answer, I go straight back to a pedestrian crossing. I go straight back to the question because I'm listening for these things because এগুলা বললেই কিন্তু আমার answer আসবে. But আমি answer দিয়ে যদি এখানে পড়ে থাকি কিন্তু আমার loss. But you have to always revert back to the question. Always revert back to the question. I got section 2 correct. And this one is, I think, a little bit more tricky. But why not? Eh? Last night. All right. Oh, went too far. There we go. All right. Now, again, MCQ. Do you notice they really love doing MCQs on section 2 listening? Okay. So let's read it to Deco. All right. So এখানে বলা আছে, I'm just audio বের করতেছি. এখন information on company volunteering projects. How much time does the company allow per employee? 2 hours per week, 1 day a month, 8 hours per year. Is 8 hours per year? I mean, it sounds illogical, but এগুলা সব মানে কোনোদিনও ডিসকাউন্ট করে না because আল্লাহই জানে, right? ওরা করতেই পারে. So next one, the feedback says volunteering improved their chances of promotion. Absolutely not. It's probably going to be something like job satisfaction. Tigna? Relationship to colleagues, maybe, but we have to listen for it. 13. Last year, some staff helped unemployed people with their literacy skills. They learned how to read. Job applications, okay? Also about communication skills, how to communicate properly. This year, the company will start a new volunteering project with a local school, park, or charity. Where will the Digital Inclusion Day be held? At the company's training facility, at a college, in a community center. What should staff do if they want to take part in Digital Inclusion Day, which is fill in a form, attend a training workshop, and get permission from their manager. Okay? So, পড়া হয়েছে সবগুলো, I hope. Okay? And let's get started with the audio, though, okay?
Okay.
And এখন কি audio একটু clearer আসতেছে?
কিছুটা।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
তারপরে স্ট্রিমিং একটু ডিফারেন্ট।
Right, always একটু difficult হয়. Right, sorry, bhai. Right.
Section 2. You will hear a manager in a company talking to employees about volunteering for charity work. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16.
So the same things we did, 2 hours, 1 day, 8 hours. Promotion, job satisfaction, relationships, literacy, job apps, communication skills, school, park, charity, company's facility at a college, community center, fill a form, training workshop, get permission. The stronger your reading skills are, the better you are the better you'll be at listening. So that's another important thing. Reading is speed.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Okay, so this meeting is for new staff and staff who haven't been involved with our volunteering projects yet. So basically, the idea is that we allow staff to give up some of their work time to help on various charity projects to benefit the local community. We've been doing this for the last 5 years, and it's been very successful. Participating doesn't necessarily involve a huge time commitment. The company will pay for 8 hours of your time. That can be used over 1 or 2 days, all at once, or spread over several months throughout the year. There are some staff who enjoy volunteering so much, they also give up their own free time for a couple of hours every week. It's completely up to you. Obviously, many people will have family commitments and aren't as available as other members of staff. Feedback from staff has been overwhelmingly positive. Because they felt they were doing something really useful, nearly everyone agreed that volunteering made them feel more motivated at work. They also liked building relationships with the people in the local community and felt valued by them. 1 or 2 people also said it was a good thing to have on their CVs. One particularly successful project last year was the Get Working project. This was aimed at helping unemployed people in the area get back to work. Our staff were able to help them improve their telephone skills, such as writing down messages and speaking with confidence to potential customers, which they had found quite difficult. This is something many employers look for in job applicants, and something we all do without even thinking about every day at work. We've got an exciting new project starting this year. Up until now, we've mainly focused on projects to do with education and training, and we'll continue with our reading project in schools and our work with local charities. But we've also agreed to help out on a conservation project in Redfern Park. So if any of you fancy being outside and getting your hands dirty, this is the project for you. I also wanted to mention the annual Digital Inclusion Day, which is coming up next month. The aim of this is to help older people keep up with technology. And this year, instead of hosting the event in our own training facility, we're using the ICT suite at Hill College, as it can hold far more people. We've invited over 60 people from the Silver Age Community Center to take part, so we'll need a lot of volunteers to help with this event. If you're interested in taking part, please go to the volunteering section of our website and complete the relevant form. We won't be providing any training for this, but you'll be paired with an experienced volunteer if you've never done it before. By the way, don't forget to tell your manager about any volunteering activities you decide to do.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20.
Okay, 11 এ দেখো তো ওরা প্রথমেই বললো কি the company will only pay for 8 hours of your time. This can be over 1 month, over 2 years, it can be মানে over 1 বছরে ওরা কি 8টা ঘন্টা paid volunteering দিবে নাকি? Answer কি হবে?
8 hours.
Right.
See.
Very good. In feedback, almost all employees said that volunteering improved their
Job satisfaction.
right. It made them more motivated at work. Right. it said, ওরা বলেছিল দেখলা যে it helped them build relationships with people in the local community, not colleagues. See kata, and one or two people said that it gave them, it was something to mention on their CV. One or two people. So the majority kintu এটা না, right? A kata, C kata, 100% B. 13 numberটা দেখি. They help people with their literacy skills. Did they say anything about reading and writing? Yes, but they were talking about what? Answering the phone, taking messages. So what sort of skills are those?
Communication.
Fantastic, fantastic. And number 14, they will start a new project with a local. They said in the recording, we will continue the ones we have with the school and the charities, but we're going to start a new one with what? Park, right? Redwood Conservation Park ki ekta bolchilo, right? Good. Number 15, where will it be held? এখন কোম্পানি ট্রেনিং, হ্যাঁ এক্স্যাক্টলি, কোম্পানি ট্রেনিং ফ্যাসিলিটি কিন্তু মেনশনই করে নাই, আর কমিউনিটি সেন্টার মেনশন করেছিল এন্ড বলেছিল কি যে আমরা ইনভাইট করেছি অনেকগুলো মানুষ, 70 মানুষ এই কমিউনিটি সেন্টারের থেকে, নাকি আমরা ইনভাইট করছি ওদেরকে, বাট ইটস গোনা বি হেল্ড at the college. Very good, B. And last but not least, what should they do if they want to take part?
Fill in a form.
Right. ওরা বলেছিল directly আমাদের ওয়েবসাইটে গিয়ে একটা correct form fill করে ফেলো. And they also said, let your manager know. They didn't say anything about getting permission from the manager. And they said, we will not be providing any training. So BC kata. Okay. Good. Now time for multi MCQ. And এটা করেই ছেড়ে দিব, বেশিক্ষণ বেশি রাখবো না, relax. Because listening is not easy on the brain. মাথা খারাপ হয়ে যায়. So let's look at these answer choices. I want you to really, really read the answer choices. They're saying about the participants. Okay. Participants. Okay. Ekta hocche, they're all over 70s. So they're all senior citizens. Haytoba. Ekta bol said they never use their computer. Highly unlikely in 2023. Or anything past the 2000, highly unlikely. Their phones were mostly old-fashioned. Eta hate rakhar moto maybe. They only use their phones for making calls. They initially showed little interest. So egula guess kore kintu ektao kara jay na, ektao rakha jay na, honestly. But just be careful যে কোনগুলা, as we listen, কোনগুলা কাটা যাবে, right? And দেখি what two activities did they describe as useful? Participants describe as useful, okay? Learning to use tablets, communicating with family, shopping online, playing online games, and sending emails. They'll mention all of these things, but we have to be careful and find out which ones were described as useful. So let me go ahead.
কোশ্চেনটা হচ্ছে যে ভাইয়া এখানে কি আপনি 17 অথবা 18 তো A B C D E এই পাঁচটা থেকেই আসবে?
Very good. You can write this ED লিখতে পারো, ED লিখতে পারো, অথবা D, anyway একটা
রাইট হইলে কি দুইটাকেই কনসিডার করে রাইট নাকি ভাইয়া?
না এখানে একটা রাইট হলে একটা রাইট, একটা গেলে একটা, right? Each of them, and they can be answered in any serial, no problem. You can write it DC AB, কোনো সমস্যা নাই, it's up to you. কথার কথা. Also you can write it CD BA, up to you. As long as the letters are correct for those questions, you will get a mark. একটা যদি রাইট থাকে একটা পাবা, দুইটা রাইট থাকলে দুইটাই পাবা। ঠিক আছে? আমি কি প্লে করব? All right.
Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
The participants on the Digital Inclusion Day really benefited. The majority were in their 70s, though some were younger, and a few were even in their 90s. Quite a few owned both a computer and a mobile phone, but these tended to be outdated models. They generally knew how to do simple things like send texts, but weren't aware of recent developments in mobile phone technology. A few were keen to learn, but most were quite dismissive at first. They couldn't see the point of updating their skills. But that soon changed. The feedback was very positive. The really encouraging thing was that participants all said they felt much more confident about using social media to keep in touch with their grandchildren, who prefer this form of communication to phoning or sending emails. A lot of them also said playing online games would help them make new friends and keep their brains active. They weren't that impressed with being able to order their groceries online, as they liked going out to the shops, but some said it would come in handy if they were ill or the weather was really bad. One thing they asked about was using tablets for things like reading newspapers. Some people had been given tablets as presents, but had never used them. So that's something we'll make sure we include this time.
So দেখো I'm gonna play it again, no worries. But did you notice the speed of how they delivered the answer? Very fast, right? Very fast. You lose attention for 1 second and you'll miss an answer. And did you notice all of the extra information এখানে বলছিল? ওইটার মধ্যে কিন্তু অনেকগুলো এক্সট্রা ইনফরমেশন বলছি। আমি অ্যানসার গুলো বের করছি, আমি বলবো না তোমাকে বের করতে, আমি আরেকবার প্লে করবো। Okay, and then okay, no worries. Okay, no tension. But do you see the presentation of the answer is a little bit what? Faster. So let's be careful. One more time, okay?
Things like send, text, party were in their...
Here we go.
Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
The participants on the Digital Inclusion Day really benefited. The majority were in their 70s, though some were younger, and a few were even in their 90s.
কি বললো? Some were younger. এ কি হবে?
না।
Kata. Good.
Quite a few owned both a computer and a mobile phone, but these tended to be outdated models.
These tended to be outdated models. কিছু মিলছে?
Old fashioned.
Old fashioned. সি হাতে রাখার. Good.
They generally knew how to do simple things like send texts, but weren't aware of recent developments in...
এখন they know how to send text, so is D applicable? D তো কাটা তাহলে নাকি?
কাটা।
All right.
Mobile phone technology. A few were keen to learn, but most were quite dismissive at first. They couldn't see the point of updating their skills.
এখন answer কি দুইটা?
CE.
Very good. CRE. Okay, and এখন number 19 and 20 দেখি.
But that soon changed. The feedback was very positive. The really encouraging thing was that participants all said they felt much more confident about using social media to keep in touch with their grandchildren.
So
who
এখন
prefer this
মাত্র কি বললো? They wanted to use social media to keep in touch with their grandchildren. কোনটা হবে?
Communication with family.
Very good.
form of communication to phoning or sending emails. A lot of them also said playing online games would help them make new friends and keep their brains active.
তাহলে আরেকটা answer কি বের হলো?
Online games.
Very good. And দেখো বাকিগুলো দেখো, mention everything. দেখছো কি ট্রিক্সটা করে দেখো?
They weren't that impressed with being able to order their groceries online.
They weren't that impressed, but অন্য মানুষ কিন্তু order online শুনে কিন্তু C select করে ফেলতো নাকি? So be very careful. Extra information there, very careful, okay? So C কিন্তু কাটা.
As they liked going out to the shops, but some said it would come in handy if they were ill or the weather was really bad.
Okay.
One thing they asked about was using tablets for things like reading newspapers. Some people had been given tablets as presents, but had never used them. So that's something we'll make sure we include this time.
So tablet-এর ব্যাপারটা কি বললো? এইবার include করবে, right? এখনো কিন্তু করে নাই, এও কাটা. Answer কি? communicating with family, and playing online games. Good, 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 very good. So কেমন লাগলো section 2?
ভালো, ট্রিকি, বাট এইটার
Tricky.
সাউন্ড খুব ক্লিয়ার ছিল ভাইয়া।
আচ্ছা, একটু বেটার না? ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে এইভাবে এখন থেকে করব। And আশা করি you should be fine. Sanjil, your skills are good. The thing is, ইচ্ছা করে they try to distract you. That is the biggest thing that they do. I want you to be better than them and be more focused. ওরা যতই ইনফরমেশন দেয়, যতই unnecessary মানে প্যাক করুক, রাইট, ওগুলা আমরা শুনবই না, and শুনলেও we'll use that to our advantage and use that for the process of elimination, right? ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আজকের জন্য রইলো এখানে, and I guess that's it for section 2 for today. We'll do more practice next class, আশা করি, and aste aste move towards section 3. I will talk to you on Friday. See you later, buddy.
ওকে ভাইয়া, বাই।
Okay, bye bye.